What if the fate of the next great Lakers dynasty isn't carved out in superstars or flashy trades, but in the subtle chess moves that unfold behind closed doors? What if the true masterpiece lies not in the raw talent on the hardwood, but in the timing, in the whispers, in the patience or impatience that no one else quite sees? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Because the Lakers story has just taken a turn so loaded with tension, it threatens to reshape the entire NBA landscape, and the king himself just made a choice few saw coming. LeBron James, the 4-time MVP, 20-time All-Star, the living legend who has been the heartbeat of this franchise, just pulled the trigger on his $50.6 million player option for the 2025-26 season. He's staying in LA for now, but hang on, this isn't the usual LeBron script. Back through his storied career, he signed 9 contracts, 8 carrying player options that he wielded like a sword, each time opting out to test the free agency waters or to negotiate bigger deals, always controlling the narrative of his journey. This is the first time he's chosen to opt in, committing to the Lakers without any detours. The question tearing through the hearts of every fan and front office alike is simple. Why? What's the strategy behind this rare show of loyalty? ESPN's Brian Windhorst peels back the surface, hinting that LeBron's decision is less a nod to contentment and more a masterstroke in a larger, unfolding plan, keeping his hands free to maneuver. While the league's power brokers circle, and circle they have, within 24 hours of this announcement, Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime agent and the formidable CEO of Clutch Sports, was inundated with trade inquiries from different NBA teams, for separate franchises dialing up, probing with offers, eager to tear open a window they've dreamed of 4 years, the chance to land LeBron at 40 years old. A player many thought was past his prime, but who remains a colossus on and off the court. LeBron hasn't asked for a trade, and there are no whispers of locker room turmoil or dissatisfaction at the Staples Center. But the fact that the whispers are this loud, this early, this persistence speaks volumes. The NBA knows the Kings' window to chase a 5th ring might finally be ajar, and it's a ticking clock allowed to ignore. To understand the gravity, you have to look back at the Lakers' journey since that magical night in the Orlando bubble in 2020 when they claimed their 17th championship. Since that triumph, the franchise has battled a storm of adversity: first-round playoff exits, seasons stripped from contention altogether, injuries that shredded momentum, coaching changes that unsettled the locker room's foundation, and an aching core that just can't find consistency. LeBron didn't come to LA to wing quietly into the night or pass the torch without a fight. He's here to compete, to win, to etch his name indelibly into the annals of basketball history. His career is a tapestry woven with championships from Miami, Cleveland, and Los Angeles, a feat only a franchise handful has ever pulled off with 3 different teams. But even legend hunger never ceases. Another championship ring is more than just jewelry. It's the final punctuation in a story written across decades, transcending numbers and stats, carving out immortality. Time, however, is ruthless. At 40, LeBron plays not for MVP glory, not for scoring titles, but for legacy, for those immortal moments that outlast every highlight reel. And this offseason, he's watching carefully, weighing every move the Lakers front office makes in pursuit of a title-caliber roster. ESPN's Dave McMenamin paints a picture of a focused king, driven to be part of a contender, while Rich Paul's words ring with calculated realism. There are no guarantees in building a title team, but we know what one looks like and what it doesn't. Yet, what do the Lakers look like today? The whispers, the rumor mills, the intel all hint at a pivot, a shift in ambition from a win-now push to a long-haul rebuild. Instead of stacking veteran pieces around LeBron, the organization seems to be planting seeds for the future, focusing on youth and development, with promising talents like Luka Doncic as foundational blocks, a vision of tomorrow, sure, but one that feels worlds apart from LeBron's immediate quest. Here we've arrived at the crossroad of impossible tension. What if the Lakers can't assemble the firepower needed this summer to chase glory? What if this delicate balance between past greatness and future hope tips toward a breakup? The phones are already ringing, the league's front office is circling, kosher that if LA stumbles, the Kings' loyalty may finally be up for auction. Imagine LeBron suiting up in a new jersey for one last cinematic run. Imagine the champagne popped, the tickets sold out, the headlines exploding across the sports landscape. Already for teams have raised their hands, ready to offer the king a throne, each call a ripple threatening to become a tidal wave. Whether you worship him or despise him, LeBron James remains the most potent force in basketball's universe. A move from him shifts the entire chessboard, and that pressure, it's crushing the Lakers' front office. Can they assemble a roster worthy of a Hall of Famer's swan song? Or are we standing at the dawn of a franchise unraveling in real time? The offseason's pulse just quickened. But it's not all speculation and whispers. The Lakers have made their first tangible move, signing former number 1 pick Adria Ton to a 2-year $16.6 million deal with a player option. On paper, it's far from a blockbuster quiet step in a noisy rumor mill, but potentially a game changer. If Aton can unlock the potential that scouts have long glimpsed, at 26 years old, Aton, a 7-footer with rare mobility and flashes of all-star promise, arrives after stints with Phoenix and Portland and will soak up the dizzying spotlight of Los Angeles basketball. His stats last season were solid: 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, 1.0 block per game, but the real question marks come from his defense and effort. Critics say he disappears when the paint demands guard duty, that the physical and mental toughness to dominate rim protection remains a work in progress. In a Lakers team starved for defensive grit in the paint, that's a glaring red flag. The stakes couldn't be higher, not just for the team, but for Aton himself. A fresh start in the NBA's biggest market, surrounded by the promising Luka Doncic and perhaps even LeBron, could kickstart a career long on potential, but short on consistency. The Lakers' clever salary structure around this deal means they've hedged their bets. If it works, they gain a nearly underpaid big man. If not, they walk away with limited damage. Yet, this gamble is wrapped tightly within the Lakers' broader existential challenge. They remain shallow, W on the wings, desperate for defensive presence and scoring punch beyond their stars. This is why the Andrew Wiggins saga has ignited buzz. Wiggins, a former All-Star and recent champion with Golden State, now with Miami, represents a tantalizing but complicated option. The Heat, valuing him highly, are reportedly demanding the Lakers' 2031 first-round pick plus young assets Dalton, Connect, and Rui Hachimura, a costly haul that has many in Lakers circles raising eyebrows. Wiggins plays solid basketball, averaging 18 points for 0.5 rebounds to 0.6 assists, and brings playoff savvy and versatility. But he's not the transformative star to build around anymore. Giving up prized young pieces and a rare unprotected first-round pick is a steep price, especially for a role player whose contract would further squeeze LA's financial flexibility. Rob Pelinka and the front office face a treacherous road ahead. Gamble the future for near-term stability, or hold fast and hope for organic growth. The clock's ticking, but patience and strategic aggression remain their mantra. Meanwhile, the Lakers quietly signed 23-year-old Jake LaRavia, a sizey, versatile forward with upside, who won't dazzle on day one, but could provide crucial depth and energy. A small, perhaps overlooked piece in a puzzle where every part matters when chasing a championship. Still, every move, every missed opportunity, looms larger than the hardwood itself. It's the weight of legacy, the hunger for relevance that colors every decision. Because the truth pounding in the background is stark. Without serious upgrades, the Lakers aren't just risking another failed postseason run, they could lose the king himself, the franchise's heartbeat, before the final chapter is written. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel we stand at a precipice, watching a saga unfold that looks like either the rebirth of a purple and gold empire, or the fragile, painful beginning of its unraveling. So is this the dawn of a fresh dynasty, or the last gasp of a fading legend? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Listen, if you're still sitting there thinking this is just another offseason noise, you are dead wrong. Wake up and smell the desperation and the drama, because this moment right here, right now, it is an absolute crucible for the Lakers' identity, their soul, their very future, wrapped into one swirling storm of impossible decisions and raw emotion. LeBron James pulling the player option isn't just a contractual blip. It's a declaration grounded in years of pain and triumph, a legacy-laden hand that reaches out to grasp either eternal glory or unimaginable heartbreak. Let me tell you, the tension that sneaks through the corridors of Lakers management is almost suffocating. Jeannie Buss, the steady albeit sometimes criticized steward of this franchise, is holding the reins tight, but whispers are growing louder that a billionaire outsider, a silent kingmaker from the shadows, could disrupt the delicate balance, bringing fresh money, fresh ideas, and maybe enough firepower to lure the king to remain not just a player, but the architect of a new Lakers dynasty. And when I say disrupt, I mean the kind of disruption that shakes the very foundations of Staples Center, that rattles the ghosts of Showtime's fast breaks and Jerry West's blueprint, that challenges the painful lessons of the 2010s when we thought Kobe and Powell were building a three-peat only to watch everything fall apart in injury and missed shots. And that brings us to Anthony Davis, the irreplaceable colossus whose own legacy teeters on the brink of either redemption or ruin. AD has carried the monstrous weight of expectation, trying to be the defensive anchor and offensive savior. But injury after nagging injury has chipped away at both his physical strength and mental confidence. Can this season, with LeBron recommitting and players like Aton stepping in, be the renaissance AD desperately needs? Or will the Lakers once again fall victim to their own fragility? Imagine the collective agony if AD can't put together a consistent campaign, if the tandem of LeBron's iron will and AD's elusive health falters, leaving the purple and gold an empty shell in the ruthless Western Conference arena. Speaking of youth, never forget that Bronny James is now entering the conversation not as just LeBron's son, but as a burgeoning star whose rise can symbolize the literal passing of the torch or, more dramatically, the doubling down on dynasty in a city that worships legacy. But as electrifying as Bronny's promises, it also adds a layer of pressure to this already combustible mix, because every move the front office makes impacts not only today's battles, but tomorrow's hope. And the fans, man, the fans are hungry, scratching at every detail, every trade rumor, desperate for a sign that the purple and gold bloodline flows stronger than doubt. And what about Austin Reeves? Quietly, methodically, he's grown into a fan favorite. The scrappy, relentless spirit embodying everything Lakers basketball should be: heart, grit, fight. Losing him wouldn't just sting. It would be a cultural wound, a slap to the locker room chemistry that could unravel faster than anyone imagines. The Lakers front office is staring at a razor's edge, juggling contracts, draft picks, and egos, desperately trying to thread the needle between honoring LeBron's twilight roar and embracing the inevitability of rebuild. And don't fool yourself, the ripple effect here sends shockwaves far beyond Los Angeles. The Warriors dynasty feels like it's gasping for breath, but they still have that clutch core. Could the Lakers' internal chaos be the opening Phoenix needs to finally blaze to the top? Or how about Denver with Nikola Jokic playing chess at a level only a few understand? Are they patiently watching LA burn before they pounce? Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Clippers, the other purple and gold threat in town, have been ticking quietly in the background, assembling pieces like a stealth predator lurking just out of sight, ready to exploit even the smallest Lakers misstep. Every franchise in the West knows the stage is set for seismic shifts, and the Lakers' every move, misstep, or miracle will ripple across the continent. Now, picture this: Staples Center, a packed house, the crowd roaring, every heart pumping purple and gold blood. The arena pulses with a kind of raw electricity that only Lakers fans know between the cheers. And the jeers is a collective heartbeat of desperation and hope. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff with the whole world watching, holding your breath, waiting for the leap. But what if the leap doesn't come? What if the front office freezes amidst the swirl, too cautious to gamble on greatness or too reckless to protect the future? History has shown us the razor-thin line between legend and oblivion. Here in LA, the transition from Magic's Showtime to Kobe's relentless grind, then to LeBron's era of near-constant battle, but undeniable greatness, has been one hell of a ride, marked by drama, heartbreak, and ecstasy. Remember 2020? When, against all odds and injury-ravaged, weather-beaten Lakers squad strolled through the Orlando bubble and grabbed that 17th banner like a phoenix rising from ashes. That was supposed to be a launching pad, not a high-water mark. The painful, post-title decline since then have been like watching a slow-burn tragedy unfold in real time, with injuries silencing stars, coaching changes sowing doubt, and the front office's tug-of-war between legacy and future ambitions grinding fans' nerves to a powder. But what if this season is the reset button? What if the addition of Aton isn't just a depth move, but the spark for a defensive renaissance? What if Jeannie Buss and her team find the boldness to swing big on a trade that scares everyone, that risks the future but reignites the fire? Or imagine the opposite: the patience they preach turns into paralysis. Pieces get moved for pennies, fans grow restless, and the king quietly begins to plot a last, and possibly final exodus to a contender that promises rings and rescue. Because here's the brutal, unvarnished truth. LeBron's legacy is not just built on the hardwood, but on narrative, on story, on the moments when everything seemed lost, but the king roared back, greatest of all. But what if this next chapter doesn't see that roar? What if the legend ends not with a bang but a whimper, in a purple and gold jersey that no longer represents a winning culture, but a lack of vision, an unwillingness to seize the moment? The weight of expectation presses heavier every day on LeBron, on AD, on the front office, on every young player walking into that purple tunnel with hope and fear alike. The Lakers are more than a basketball team. They are a living, breathing emblem of a city's dreams and disappointments, the echoes of 1980s Showtime's fast break glory, the thorny 2000s three-peat battles, the bittersweet 2010 revenge that lifted spirits only for the curtain to fall too soon, and the bubble banner that felt like redemption, but also an omen of fragility the soul of this franchise struggles with. Every move, because every trade, every signing, every contract decision is charged with history and stakes that no other team carries. So the real heart of the drama pulses not in stat sheets or box scores, but in what this means for the Lakers' collective spirit, for their ability to rally around the king one last time, or to brace for a painful schism, the sacrifice of a past era to fuel a future yet unknown. So as a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming: a season where every game feels like a referendum on everything this franchise embodies, where the legend of LeBron collides with the cold calculus of a front office walking a tightrope over a chasm of uncertainty. A season where fans aren't just watching basketball, they're witnessing a saga that could end in Phoenix flight or in ashes scattered across a city that knows what winning looks like, but maybe now, just maybe, has to prepare for something else entirely. Now I want to hear it from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, because this isn't just a game, this is our story. And the next chapter is about to be written in blood, sweat, and pure, unfiltered heart.